objective. But one thing I'm concerned is how will they make the damage work now early game, knowing that this is a Brody and also a Novaria. They have their windows, they have their moments on where to actually activate, but this gives pressure to the tank as well. But for the side of, for Indonesia rather, all tools for ganking early game could actually be utilized. Either they slow down the momentum of Mongolia's composition, or even just have a way of funneling through a kill for the Fanny. Now this is a big of a problem though, having a greater coverage all around the map. The game changer pick Fanny. We've seen great Fanny plays from Egypt, now from Indonesia. Man, this time around, on the last possible match, this is a great video showing strength.
And anytime you pick up that Fanny, you remember before we even got to the draft and we saw how that kind of came to play was, do you want to risk it? Like, is that the risk and the high reward that you're looking for? The high reward is staying in the tournament, you know, so that's what they're going for.
Risk it all and see.
Risk it all, you might as well, right? This is complete comfort though. As we know, a lot of Indonesian teams love this pick too. They love to go with that Fanny. They love to take, if they can get that early snowball going.
A lot of great players of Fanny in Indonesia.
Well, let's find out.
Now it's complete match point. It's Indonesia versus Mongolia. Who is going to go big and who's going to go home? Who is going to proceed to the challenge and possibly climb up the grand finals? Let's find out.
Find out if they're able to make it there. It's one step in the right direction with either of these teams that makes it through. They've got their work cut out for them to get to that slot later in the grand finals. But now you can see the pressure from both of these teams right in the jungle. Look at that, Vin taking a couple shots too up in the jungle. Has the flicker already this early on. Zix already going. This is bad for Vin. He tries to get away, a couple shots in there. So first blood going to the hands of Aizen of all people. Super Ken and Moreno, they might be able to get a response, and it's a 1-for-1. Ethan will fall, so it's the roamer for the roamer, and the kill's going in the hands there of that one. Super Ken still going, he's level 4. He's looking for that snowball here, man.
This is the force. This is actually the force out of the resource department of Indonesia right now. By not hitting even the minute and 10, Super Ken is already on level 4 compared to the members of Mongolia, having the advantage even by just utilizing the passive of the air superiority. That's an equivalent for a true damage that he can use from the early game. At this point in time, they're utilizing the vision that Kaji is doing, that Vin is doing, such as now.
Okay, he doesn't want him in his jungle here. He says no. Super Ken still on the hunt, but ZXOR are going to roll on out of here. A lot of this covering fire from both junglers, right? You need your team to pretty much be there for you. Now, biggest thing, again, that Mongolia has to be careful for is in those exchanges that we're seeing in these first 2 minutes is once Vin is level 4 and Moreno, you have to now respect the fact that you will most likely get picked off. Either you're going to get Divine Judgment into the rough waves or just one or the other. And that is something crucial as we get through this early to mid-game transition. First turtle of the game is up. Both junglers trying to get it situated here. Super Ken needs that purple buff to compete. Half health. Aizen trying to get in place as well. Vin going to get pushed back. Aizen now making his way there. Super Ken going to get final slashed away. ZXOR will claim the first turtle here. And once again, Vin has to flicker on the defensive. Chorizo out by himself. He's going to get chased down. Aizen on the hunt. Flickers to safety.
The retribution was a off-cam kill onto Moreno there. And looking back what happened at the first objective take, the retribution was ready for Super Ken. But one thing that was a bit of a problem, there is the CC. The slow of Zizora, you have the catch from Ethan, you have the go, you have a way of using the heavy spin as well as Aizen's final slash. At that point, he was also considering of not being taken down. Having the respect right down the early game is actually a way for this Fanny to actually work wonders approaching mid-game. So they're keeping tabs on who to target next time. But as of now, Strong going all over a map such as this. Vindo might get pinned down in by 4. Yeah, closing into defenses.
This is looking dicey. Vin going to be caught under the turret. What can you do in that situation? Man, that is tough. Another pickup here, Mongolia asserting the dominance in this bottom lane for Bebex. That's what they need. That's what they want to do. It looks like even Moreno is making his way, trying to get that rough wave combination down. He's going to get stunned. This is troublesome. He'll fall too. Going to the hands of Bebex here on that Brody.
Wow, Blade of Heptasis present now for Brody, having the staple damage and amount of ambush passive for this one gives him a bit of a push for damage and poke against the scary that might shine in the mid to late game. This time around, with 2 deaths of Vin, this is a window for even for the Rome of Mongolia to actually keep on taking an A to go lane.
Oh,
wait, Super
nice
Ken.
sidestep there. Sakin not getting connected with the Astral Recall, but Ethan's still on the hunt. He goes in with a flicker, looking for the heavy spin. Doesn't have it just yet. Now it's online here. He's utilizing it now, locking down 2, able to find them. Sakin will fall, and he gets out of dodge. ZXORA went down as well. Forbid going to be in trouble. The response from Indonesia comes through.
Wow. The pull onto Cizora. From that point, they were looking for chances to take that one, and that was the jungler of Mongolia. From that point, this is the threat now of the composition of Indonesia. Looking at this Fanny and even for this Kadata, a lot of ways to reinforce quickly, but now Turtle is up, and now we have greater vision for Mongolia to take this one, but Chorizo is still present though.
Super Ken making his way as well. Turtle goes in, tries to get in time. ZXORA going to be able to claim it. Final Slash will not find the target, but they get the objective here, furthering that gold lead that they're working with 5 minutes into the game. It's going to translate into some of this good scaling here for Mongolia. So if you're Indonesia, you've got to be able to stop that. Use the pick-off potential you have. Let's take a look at the items here.
2 steel leg plates present for Cizora and Ethan. A lot of ways to soak up damage and be into team fights and even pin down. Look at that, Chorizo. Accepting the heavy spin. Bebek's trying to take this turret down. Chorizo's trying to hold on, but there's waves coming in. They might want to let go of this first turret down. Yes, Bebek takes the defense down by for Indonesia.
Okay, trading across the map here for the tier 1s. Both of those going down. See the teams really working for the space, right? But still maintaining that little bit of gold lead they have. Mongolia holding on. So, Indonesia, what do they got to do, right? Pick-off potential is going to be there. They have to utilize it. Okay. Super Ken, that is tough right there. Okay. He's still going to go back in here. Gets a little bit low, has to get out of dodge. Meanwhile, the rest of the team trying to hold down the mid lane. Rough Wave's going to be used as well, clearing that out. And all this, once again, a back and forth between these two Titans.
This time around, the threat of having a rotation from Ethan Bebek's and also Forbid is this a trap, a walking, revolving trap for a Fanny. From that point, he has a standing at 300. Having to maintain this kind of KDA would actually be beneficial for damage while waiting for Saken to have the items online. Having the Petrify present for this carry, it could be a great way of escaping this, but how could this be?
Once again, Ethan finding Saken. They're going to force him back with a heavy spin. Will trying to get the lockdown. Won't be able to get it. Has to defensively flicker himself. Now the response, still, they pay for it. Bebex goes down. Take a breather.
Yep, we're taking it.
Man, look at, I mean, constantly, right? The attention there in that bottom lane. And they just got counter-punched.
Wow. It goes on and on and on. That is a trap. The CC trap from Mongolia. You have the Baksha, you have the slow, you have the heavy spin, you even have Arlot's final slash. But just by looking at their progress, you have the Blade of Heptasis still also the Maleficor has been picked up, having the 4.8 gold against the marksman of Indonesia, having a great start here for Brody, but he got picked down. 1-2-2 KDA, but now even a sustain department, it's still a great way of holding the rotation if you are Mongolia. You have a ways of catching this Fanny now, regardless of there's no Kufra, there is no Franco, there's 3 members just keep on going around just as Fanny goes in. But one thing they consider though is if Indonesia capitalizes on these rotations that Super Ken is doing, they could actually pull the team or even Mongolia to tight spots. It could be utilized as team fights.
I think at this point in the game, really, what you're seeing is, again, the utilization of the lockdowns, like you mentioned, right? They're really trying to utilize the Akai pick even, forcing these situations, and whether that's waiting for the box share or not, it's using that heavy spin, right? While you can under those turrets. But as we just saw there before we took that break was just the fact that you can get countered, you can get counter punished. They weren't able to basically get Sakin down because he has the purifies, right? So you commit, you keep going, so it's you overcommit a little bit, and then you get punished. So that is something that you have to be kind of worried about, right? Because as this game scales in, and you're going to see more and more of this, basically utilizing Kadita and Kaja, those two alone, it gives you basically a plan A, plan B, and pick off potential, right? So that's something you really have to be wary of. Yes, they haven't had the most amazing early game, but essentially that never changes. The fact that they have those two ultimates that can, turn the tide of just a numbers game. So that is something they have to watch out for. Not only that, but Mongolia controlling that aggression that they love to play with, right? That they love to play around. That's their style, and that's what works them. And I feel like, again, rising through the ranks of these just teams in the world of MLBB competitive play, it's that aggressive style that actually works out well for them, but can bite them as well, right? So they have to kind of adjust from that as they get back through this game, because yes, it's down to that best of one. And we're almost, to the point of this match, at least for game number 3, where things are going to get a little crazy, right? They've already started to. As we jump back in here, you see it. Bebex was taken out. We'll see what the response is, right? Third turtle of the game, and now spawning. ZXORA getting a position, knows that it might be better. Super Ken actually just decides he's going to make his way there. Doesn't want the purple, tries to go in, gets it with a retribution, cleanly swoops in, takes the objective without even the purple buff. Now he's like, all right, now I'll get the buff. But look at this, ZXORA is like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to go ahead and just swoop in, get the turtle here, and go in. Eisen going to flicker in, misses the final slash though. Are they still going to commit to this? Ethan goes in, there's the rough wave. ZXORA could be in trouble. No follow-up damage just yet. They're waiting for Super Ken to go in, gets it with the cutthroat. He's unstoppable for now.
Indonesia with the counter punch. Looking at the chance that Eisen lost the chance of having that combo with the final slash and the flicker, it was go time. You were calling it there from that moment. Are they gonna commit? Having the advantage in damage and defense and catch, that was the moment. Look at that flicker.
A flicker for a flicker. They're gonna poke down with the Astral Recall. The heavy spin though, he just gets knocked up, spinning in the air. Won't be able to do anything with that. Falls there in the mid lane. Indonesia once again finding their own moment. Super Ken worked on that tier 1, got it down. Now I set here on the orange buff of ZXORA, waiting patiently. They've got the information they need. Forbid and Bebex here as well. Oh, 3 versus 1. He spotted out. The cutthroat goes through. Did he get it? He takes a couple hits, but he gets out just cleanly. It looks like he did steal that away from ZXORA.
Orange stolen from Zisora. Now looking for chances to get out of a trade all across the map, because as we're seeing, waves are pushing in from top to bottom. Another orange for Super Ken.
He's got all the buffs.
Talking about damage of 5-0-0. Wow, this Fanny on a level 12, 2-level gap XP against Zisora. Yes, they have the defense now, but in terms of damage and burst, Moreno's probably building up the second and third item, and that is going to be deadly with the lethal ignition. But onto the positioning, Mongolia is looking something for a trader. How will they follow up at this point? Because there's still defenses left from mid to bottom. We have the first tier turret from the bottom side, but Super Ken here is trying to get coverage more on the push. Same thing goes for Zisora. We have Antiquaras for defense, and looking back on the chances here to get more items for Bebex, they really would want to have this Lord.
Okay, half health here. Super Ken waiting patiently for the right moment. They already get a flicker out too. Wisen could be in trouble. Heavy spin, pushing them back the best he can, but takes quite a bit of damage. Is this where they want to be? Super Ken gonna go for it. ZXORA is able to secure the Lord, and now the response comes through. Bebex picks up a kill. 1 for Indonesia fall here. And Mongolia picks up a big Lord for them.
And just as that, the Lord responds up top. Bebex gets his own additional economy. Eisen!
Wow.
Drop down. Super Ken secures the kill. Still defending the first tier turret in mid.
So they got to do something about Super Ken. Yeah, they got the Lord there, but he's 6-0-0, right? He is massive. Yeah, he's super, literally at this point on this Fanny. And they're going to have to defend, right? They still got to take care of this Lord. It should be made quick work of. Sakin as well has relatively farmed up pretty good on this carry. They'll just have to give up some of these tier 2 turrets as they do. Super Ken though, wow, Bebex with the wind chant has that. Good thing he had the Wind of Nature there. If he didn't, that would have been close. Crucial. Vin goes in with the flicker. The Divine Judgment too. Ethan there, though, to help him out. Good thing. A lot of this back and forth push and pull from both the teams.
Wow, that was so close for Bebix there. You don't want to get isolated from your team. At this point in time, Super Ken has no deaths. And also looking back on the burst potential of Moreno right now, building up the Genius One, Clock of Destiny, enhancing the attributes, reducing the magic defense. But this time around, we're looking at the defensive side of Mongolia. They have the dominance ice. Athena's shield for Aizen, though, there's one item beneficial for team fights, but that's just one. How will they answer for the damage and true damage of the lineup now of Indonesia's doing? But as of this point, they're looking to clear more of the waves because there's some turrets left for Mongolia to be taken as of this time.
Conceal play going to come through. Vin looking for the Divine Judgment on the right target. Final Slash going to come through as well. Heavy Spin not going to be used just yet. They're happy with a kill. Easy pickings here. Mongolia. Super Ken patiently waiting. Who's his mark? Not going to be able to find it. Right, Bebix there. Astral Recall going to come down. Heavy Spin utilized as well, but ultimately nothing of it other than Vin going down. Now eyes set on the tier 2. Mongolia looking for more space to work with. Super Ken going to come in. Look at that Final Slash. Able to find the mark. Perfect target there as he falls. Bebix with the torn apart memory. Cleaning up house. And there you go. Mongolia in a position to press it even further. 30 seconds away from the Lord. They want to get this turret down before they transition.
The shutdown on to Super Ken, a beneficial pickoff from Mongolia, giving them a chance. Oh, got pulled in the turret. There's Zora.
Vin gonna go in. That's the Rough Waves too. Perfect target. The jungler is gone for Mongolia. Now making it even harder. He'll be up here in a bit, but 10 seconds before the Lord comes out. Look at the replay here. This is a simple just maneuver that changes the course of this part of the game. Divine Judgment with the flicker, slowing down this Lord take. Now they have the advantage. They have to wait. Mongolia has to wait for ZXOR to come through. There's the heavy spin. Vin could be in trouble here. He finally falls. Bebix once again from the end, working his way. Lord now, a third of the health, in trouble. Petrify comes through. Aizen will fall here. Bebix already using the Wind of Nature. Super Ken comes in, cleans up, finds his mark. It's a double. And now, Lord for the taking. What can Mongolia do? 2 members left alive here. They might have some vision. They might have some poke. ZXOR, does he have the retribution in him?
Oh, Moreno on half HP, taking the responsibility out of Sorizo, even for Sakin. Just looking to zone out members here of Mongolia, looking out the rough waves, trying to peel them off. Securely, Indonesia gets the objective.
Man, oh man, what an exchange between 2 teams fighting for their lives here in the tournament. And with that, they secure themselves the Lord here for Indonesia. After some smart decisions, especially from Vin, able to slow down some of that Lord take, possibly from Mongolia. Now they get to play around this as the Lord makes its way topside. Which take is going to happen first? Again, Vin now has the flicker available. They're actually going to give this a go. Chorizo, was he right? The right target. Aizen doesn't have the final slash anymore.
Okay. 2 ultimates burned down, Aizen and Forbid. Well, on the pokes, Forbid might come earlier again for the respawn, but this time around, Indonesia's capitalizing on the push up top with the Lord.
Here we go.
Here's the attention.
Vin, he's going to flicker in, finding another target here, but the heavy spin defensively to stay alive. That could have been a disaster for Mongolia. They hold on a little bit longer, though. And that's where we are here, OSX. At this point in the game, almost 15 minutes in, it's going to be like that. Every time that Divine Judgment, the rough waves are available, Mongolia has to watch out.
That makes this combination so deadly. Moreno and even Vin. Let's check out how the lethal burst would actually work. Look at that. Genius One, Divine Glaive, even Clock of Destiny present now. That could actually be proc for extra burn magic damage for this Kadita. Once that pickoff is happening from Vin's Divine Judgment, it's a complete follow-up of a pickoff or even a team fight that can be initiated from a side of Mongolia. So looking at the way of the defensive here, we're looking at 3 Athena shields present for Mongolia. Still the right amount of tools to sustain. Probably they want to outplay or even outlast that damage once they commit, once Indonesia's skill set has been committed in those kinds of pickoffs.
Yeah, what's scary with the pickoffs too is if they just get Bebex's Wind of Nature down and he pops that wind chant early, that is already a huge threat, right? Because then again, how do you keep Bebex alive here with Super Ken just pretty much unleashing towards that back line, and also the rough waves, right? This is also a big item pickup here to allow Vin to continue to do those Divine Judgment plays even sooner now. So back to it. At this point, 30 seconds, nearly 30 seconds away from this Lord up here. Mongolia's want to get in position. Indonesia wants to get a numbers advantage if they can.
And TK Ras now present for Aizen, lessening the damage, absorbing more and deflecting more against the damage that they can get from Indonesia. From now, they could either see, or they could actually see a possible pickoff here, because as Zora's slow is actually effective with paired with the heavy spin with the Sakai, a lot of things had happened, but if they lose the right pickoff, right from Indonesia's composition, that's where the loss of a setup comes to show. They need to make the right targets. They need to make the right choice here. Look at that. Vin has been spotted, though.
Oh,
committing the ultimate.
Aizen using the final slash again. Was that the right target? Look at this. Super Ken, too, putting pressure where he wants to. Allowing just Mongolia to go ahead and start up that Lord. He knows he can make his way there quickly. Look at the positioning here from Indonesia. They're looking to make a play with that conceal once it's available, once they decide it's time. So
Look
it's up to Mongolia.
Moreno is just as being patient, not being discovered. Even the positioning now of Mongolia, rotating quickly and covering their lanes as well. Lord on half HP. Super Ken
they
does
go in. Near. They're going to be able to find Chorizo. He falls. Vin could be in trouble too. Look at the damage already though. There's the rough waves coming through for them. 2 fall here from Mongolia. Do they have a response? Lord's going to go ahead and reset. ZXora on the run. Super Ken will hunt him down. Looking for it. He still has the immortality. It's not worth it, he says. And again, we're back to it. Both teams having 3 for 3 here for that Lord. And we are at a reset.
That was a good pull. Zora having the attention of Super Ken right onto his purple gave so much way for that objective to be reset. Completely having a chance to recall and recover back in their own base. Now Indonesia, Aizen now sees on,
Aizen
taking down Moreno.
Yeah, but look at the rough waves out though. It was going to be a 1-for-1. Now the team comes through. Saka could be in trouble. Here comes Super Ken again. Finds Forbid. Still going to be looking for more. Beyblading all over ZXora. Immortality will be popped. And now he's looking for the kill, but the team has come to help out. He has to back out. That could have been way worse here for Mongolia.
That was so close. The damage and peel right now. Super Ken is off the roof. Puts Zora back to the base. No ultimate available. Retribution on 6 seconds, but this is the window of this Fanny right now to just clear. But look at this. We're looking at Chorizo just poking on the Lord, looking for a chance to pull in members of Mongolia. But by looking at the control, Indonesia's all over the place. Here comes the showdown once again on Aizen.
The 1-for-1 here. He already got the final slash out. Meanwhile, Lord's going to be pulled here for Indonesia. Sakin working on it. They're trying to keep ZXora at bay. This is the macro play here for both teams, right? Pushing the side lanes, putting pressure up there, forcing a response from Mongolia. What do they do? Where do they put their attention? Now the Lord here, less than half health. Will it go for a reset? They're kind of waiting this a little bit longer. Super Ken now going to make his way. Sliver of a health. Oh, he gets it! Goes in, just sweeps and get the retribution off. Still gonna be going though. Look at the rough wave damage coming through. Bebex in trouble. Wind champ, but he gets knocked up. And it's a disaster from Mongolia in the fight. Not only the Lord for Indonesia, but 2 kills on top of it.
They get the objective. They get a pick of that. Zora and Bebex falling down. No damage for almost 36 seconds. This is an advantage now, Indonesia, to push forward in the base with all members present, completely taken out. The turrets of Mongolia right now, no damage, no extra slow. It's Ethan, Aizen, and Forbid, the only ones left to defend. But this is just closing the map, making the map look at a burst again.
Trying to buy time. Aizen going to take the brunt of the damage. He will fall into the turret. Super Ken goes into the base. He does not care about the turret. Lord's still going to be up here. Multiple members down for Mongolia, and it looks like Indonesia wants to end it here. They want to keep going. They want to defend their title, and they'll do it. Sending Mongolia out, then they stay alive.
Indonesia once again